What we did was we compared the median salary of each of the IIMs with the kind of fees to understand the kind of return on investment. Many of these private institutions are possibly better than some of the other IIMs that we're talking about, where the fee is 30% more than even the median salary. When you actually are forcing students to opt out, when you're forcing students to sit for the bottom quartile, and where the EMI itself would be dragging itself for about 8 and 12 years. Hello students, Namaste, welcome to MBA 360. Today we're going to examine whether the IIM tag itself is good enough for you to get a good job, or are there better options beyond the IIMs that you should be considering when you're actually trying to get into a good B school of your choice. And for that, all we looked at is data and nothing more. As I keep saying, at MBA 360, we will advise you, but we'll largely rely on data, because there the subjectivity is removed and objectivity comes into place. Which is what typically a CAT examination does, isn't it? That they ultimately are judging you based on the scores, marks, and your performance over the years. And before I move further, please subscribe to MBA 360, because this is one destination where it will keep you informed on everything to do with MBA education, admission process, and the colleges that are out there, and also give you data at a very, very periodic level so that you get into the best B school of your choice. Now, coming back to the larger issue that we were talking about, how are the Baby IIMs performing? Is IIM tag a good enough thing? Or are there better options than IIMs that you should be considering, right? For that, we looked at data. Now, typically, to put things in perspective, there are about 21 IIMs in India. The first generation IIMs were Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Lucknow, Indore, and Kozhikode. Then you had the second generation IIMs, which is Shillong, Rohtak, Raipur, Ranchi, Trichy, Kashipur, and Udaipur. Now we also have the third generation IIMs, which is Amritsar, Bodh Gaya, Jammu, Nagpur, Sambalpur, Srimoor, and Visakhapatnam. And of course, IIM Mumbai recently joined the bandwagon, but it was always existing as NITI Mumbai. It is rebranded as IIM Mumbai. So essentially, we are talking of possibly these ones and a few of these ones also. For that, now what we did was we compared the median salary of each of the IIMs with the kind of fees to understand the kind of return on investment. What we talk about is return on investment ultimately. And we compared the IIMs with some other institutions in the country, which possibly, and some of them are in public sector, some of them are in private sector. But the issue here is fees versus the kind of median salary that they offer, and what is it that drives them to be, on an ROI terms better. Now you look at IIM Ahmedabad, 27.5 lakh rupees, 100% placement, but the median salary is 30.66 lakh. So the first year's fee, if you look at it, the median salary is 12% more than the fee itself. Similarly, Bangalore, 22% more than the fee itself. Kozhikode, 14% more than the fee itself. Lucknow, 44% more than the fee itself. Mumbai, 56% more than the fee. Then you have Indore at 23% more than the fee, and Calcutta at 17% more than the fee. So all the premier IIMs, they actually deliver, in the very first year, they deliver far, far better than what the fee is. Of course, I have a larger issue of whether the fee should be so high. We're going to talk of that in terms of affordability of this fee itself at some point in time. But the larger issue that I'm looking at is, at this point in time, the first year median salary is more than the fee itself, which is at least, some kind of respite for the student. But when you look at the other IIMs, the Baby IIMs and the second and third generation IIMs, it is slightly different. Look at Udaipur, the fee is, 19.26, but the median salary is 17.67, which is 8% lesser. Right. Kashipur, it's 9% lesser. Nagpur is 23% lesser. The fee is 21 lakhs. The median salary is 16.09 lakh. Right. Visakhapatnam is 24% lesser. Bodh Gaya is 14% lesser. Jammu is 31% lesser. 20.74 lakh being the fees and 14.33 lakh being the median salary. Now, understand one thing. When I talk of the median salary, it means we are talking over the right in the middle, right? Just imagine if you're in the bottom half of the thing, this would go down to about 9, 10, 11 lakh rupees also, which means it's about 100% more is the fee. The fee that you're going to pay, and the salary that you're likely to get if you're in the bottom quartile of the IIM is very, very burdening, in the sense that it'll take you about a few years, 7 to 12 years, to repay the EMI also. That is what you're driving at. And maybe at some point in time, I'll also do that calculation for you so that you understand what we are seeing. And here, if you see Sambalpur, the fee is 19.5 lakh. And the median salary is 13.85 lakh. Here in Srimoor, 17.6 lakh, and the median salary is 12.33 lakh, and 30% lesser. So what happens, assuming it's 12.33 lakh being the median? The bottommost student might be getting about 8-9 lakhs, and that is assuming they are placed, by the way. Many of these, like Kashipur, we did have a complaint from a student of why they are being forced to, opt out. So some of these IIMs, what they do is they force students to opt out of the placement process itself, so that they can show higher placement numbers, and the median salary also pushes itself higher, right? But if you look at it, even with the data that they themselves are presenting, this is the kind of bleak picture that you're dealing with, that your fee is dramatically much more than what your median salary is, which essentially means that if you're in the bottom quartile of the institution, you're either likely not getting placed, or even if you're placed, you're likely to get about 9-10 lakh rupees of salary, whereas the fee is about 20 lakh rupees. And that is just the fee itself. Hostel and everything has to be added out here. Now that presents a very dismal picture in term. So the one thing we are very clear at this point in time is that the IIM tag itself doesn't give you the best ROI. We are only talking for ROI at this point in time. The IIM tag itself doesn't give you the best ROI. If you were to just look at it in the other way, right? We looked at a few other institutions. For example, IIFT Delhi. Here, it is as good as the premier IIMs, 16% more than what the fee is. The fee is 21.82 lakh, and the median salary is 25.16. Now, Jamia Millia, the fee is 53,150. When you have lesser fee, obviously the ROI works very, very, very well, right? At a 10.26 lakh also, they actually give about 18 times return. BHU Varanasi, again, the fee is less at 99,290. The placement is 11 lakh 5,000. BBAU Lucknow, 1 lakh 80,000 and 10 lakh 37,000. Madon MNIT, 3.89 lakh being the fee and 11 lakhs being the median salary, and so on and so forth, right? And you can see that, for example, Sydenham is very, very good. Sydenham is from the Mumbai University, 1.38 lakh fees and 14.39 lakh thing. Some of them would have school, the state quota and all, remember that. But we just looked at some of the public institutions which actually are delivering far, far better than what you have. But it is not just limited to the public institutions, because obviously you can always say like public institutions have, an investment from the state, so the fee is regulated to that extent, everything is normal. The question that I always keep wondering is, why is it that these public institutions charge so less, and why is it that the IIMs charge so high? That's a question at some point in time we need to come back, because IIMs are driving the fees of all MBA education high, and that is my pet grief every single time, because India cannot afford a high education, a high fees kind of a regime, which is what IIMs are actually at this point in time spearheading, and that for me is a crime. Now coming back to whether beyond public institutions, do private institutions also do that? In fact, private institutions are doing far better than many of the IIMs. Look at this. This is, MDI Gurgaon. The fee is 21.32 lakh, but the median salary is 25 lakh. So we're dealing with 19% more. XLRI, 30 lakhs is the fee, 29.41 lakhs is the thing, so almost similar. SIBM Pune, 25 lakh fee, 24 lakh thing. So if you look at it, SPJIMR Mumbai, 26.5 lakh is the fee, but 31.33 lakh is the median salary. So if you now look at these whole things, you suddenly realize that many of these private institutions are possibly better than some of the other IIMs that we're talking about, where the fee is 30% more than even the median salary. With an IIM tag. With an IIM tag, that is a big caveat out here. With an IIM tag, some of them are charging 30%, 25% more than what the median salary is. Whereas here you are actually dealing with some, outstripping, they're delivering better median salary than even the fee. And otherwise also it's about 10-15% this way or that way. And that is what for me is a revelation. Because the thing that we're dealing with here is should the fee be so high? Are the institutions which have better ROI as compared to the fee and the median salary that they're offering? And three, most importantly, when you actually are forcing students to opt out, when you're forcing students to sit for the bottom quartile, and where the EMI itself would be dragging itself for about 8, 10, 12 years, what exactly is the reason why IIM should do that? Shouldn't they look at other ways of funding and financing their education so the fee can be brought down to a certain level and the best students actually get into that? I hope you agree with what I'm saying. If you have any questions, please write to me here, and I'll be more than happy to research and pick up data to explain to you where I stand on this matter, or where MBA 360 stands on this matter. If you have any other institutions that you want us to cover, please again write us in the comment and I'll cover that also. Thank you so much. Namaste.